Can I tell you a story about my penis? Actually, no. It's more.
Sure.
It's more about my balls. But when I was in secondary school, actually no. It was the morning before secondary school. Morning routine. Go have a shower. Jerk off in the shower. Come.
Yeah.
Get out. Get ready for school.
Of course.
This morning.
I can't jack off in the shower.
This morning I woke. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I can jack off in a cold shower, not in a hot one.
The only way I can jerk off in a hot shower. The only way Niall can do it is if he lays on his bed and fucks his hand romantically with candles.
You're a faggot.
No, I don't.
He needs
I don't
the
pretend
candles.
it's a man's butt. Jesus fucking Christ. How does that make me a faggot?
I heard you go, oh, guy's butt. Oh, I'm gonna come, guy's butt.
No. All I do is, I've mentioned it before. I gave the tutorial on this podcast.
You did a step-by-step.
Guys, jack my story.
Okay.
Anyways, this is the story, right?
Yeah.
Wake up. I have a bad pain in my balls, right? I'm like, that's no good. I'll get in my shower and have a little wank. See if it makes it feel any better.
Yeah.
Get in the shower. The second I come, instant pain. I'm like, oh my god, my balls.
You
So
soap in your dick hole.
no, you dick.
Don't tell you dick hole.
Oh,
A whole bar of
another
soap
story
bubbles
there is
going.
one time I rubbed toothpaste on my dick, so I thought it'd make it feel minty,
Oh.
but it actually burned the fuck out of my
You
piss hole.
wanted to feel minty.
Yeah, well, I heard that if you put coke in your mouth and blow your dick, it feels good.
Chris,
so
did you ever fuck the
You
vacuum
were a
cleaner?
stupid kid, Chris.
Chris said,
I was like 16.
Chris, you did say one time you were washing your dick and a whole bar of soap fell in.
It was not bar soap. But no, listen. It was no. Where was I? Oh yeah, coming in the shower, instant
Yeah.
pain. I put on a towel, walk up to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, my balls actually really hurt. And she's like, Well, you're still going to school because I used to always try and get out of school because I hated it. But anyways, she makes me go to school with a pain in my ball, and then I last like one class, and then I go to the next class. And I'm sitting there in pain, and it was biology, and I was like, "Sir, I got a pain in my nut," and everyone was like, "Ha ha ha ha!" And I was like, "No, I'm serious." And he was like, "Yeah, well, name the part of your ball, and I'll let you go." And I was like,
epididymis.
"Yeah, my epididymis." And he was like, "Okay, off you
That's a good
go."
rapper
And everyone
name.
was like, "Ha ha ha!" Okay, so I go to the hospital with my mom. I have to wait. I'm holding my balls next to my mom, and then she brings me into a room. The nurse takes a look at my balls, and she's like, "I can't handle these big boys. I have to go get my superior."
Yeah.
So she brings in
Hold 'em up in
she
one
brings
day.
in a little brown man, and he's like, "I will hold your balls," and he held both my balls with both of his little hands, and he's like, "You have twisted your balls. If you hadn't have left it any longer, we would have had to amputate one of them." And I was like, "That's
No,
shit."
God.
So he fucking grabs both my balls, right? He stretches them out as far as he can with both hands, and he fucking
Cringing.
throws them in opposite directions. They spin around for a few minutes.
Did that actually happen?
Yeah, no, like they span around for like a few minutes, and then they were back to normal.
So they were
Chris, originally, my cousin had that, but he said when he pulled the balls apart, the guy stuck his face in it like with those, like silly putty on a newspaper.
like in Star Wars
and
with
his
the
face
Chris- or-
stuck in the ball skin.
He didn't do that to me. He
with
actually
the carbonite, you know, when
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
solo,
yeah.
like,
he spun the balls around, and then he grabbed the flaps of the ball sack, and he stretched it out like bat wings, and then he put his lips up to it.
And he said, "You would be normal."
He was like, "You are free of all demons," and I was like, "Thank you. You are truly not a hook-nosed Arab, like Zach would say."
And then he finished into the wall. He melted into the floor.
He faded away into sand in the wind.
you can't say hook nose
And
out.
that's the story of my balls.
I can back up for a minute. I'll just tell you one other little detail I left out. Before I went in for the procedure, they stuck a needle in my arm for the IV.
Yeah.
And this stupid nurse missed. So this is what. So if anyone's ever wondering what happens if you don't get an IV in your vein, if they miss the vein. She put it in my arm and she walked out. All of a sudden, my arm starts blowing up, like my forearm
Swelling?
starts blowing up like a balloon.
Oh, God.
It's filling up in my arm.
Gross.
And I'm standing there, I'm like, this is not happening. I'm like, this is not normal.
Did you pull it out?
No, because she, they tape it on like
Yeah,
real
it's an
hard.
IV.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm so freaked out by needles. I'm like, oh my god, I can't pull this out of my arm. And I'm just like, I'm just like, She comes back in and she's like, oh, sorry about that.
Did she drain it all out?
The body absorbs it. It takes a minute.
That's even nastier, dude.
But it takes a minute to absorb back into your body. But yeah, if it doesn't get in the vein, it just
What were they pumping into you?
Just saline, whatever.
Yeah,
Sunny
saline.
Saline is just
Yeah.
like salt water, pretty
Yeah,
much.
just for some reason they like hydrating you before they
Yeah, it's
do
like
anything.
electrolytes and all that bullshit.
I'm gonna put my toe in salt water and remove the infection.
Oh yeah, Chris has a gammy toe.
Yeah, I've got a big old nasty toe. Because I went to the doctor and I was like, "Listen, toe hurts," and he pulled out like a fucking Grim Reaper scythe of a toenail out of my toe.
Oh, because you had a.
And then I was like, "Yeah, that's better, but it still hurts." And he pulled out a little tiny grain of sand, and I was like, "That now it feels great." But then now it's infected. So thanks, Doc.
Ew.
Well, that's Ireland for you.
Chris,
If I'm dead next episode,
there's a little man living inside your toe, causing chaos.
If you die because of your toe, that'd be so.
that would be fitting.
That'd be fitting. Would be fitting.
Yeah.